Hey everybody, welcome back. I've got the TRIPLTEK tablet here that I got from TRIPLTEK.com, and I love this tablet. Now, you've probably seen in a lot of my other videos me using all of my drones with this one tablet, and that was the main purpose of it, because I was using the DJI smart controllers and I was using phones, and the iPhone, it gets hot, especially in the direct sunlight, and it dims to where you can't see it. And so I was looking for alternatives, and I found the TRIPLTEK tablet, and it's 1200 nit, and I know it's to some of you that may mean nothing, but on average, you're used to looking at your phone at about 600 nits, so pretty much double that, and the brightness. And when you're in the broad daylight and you can see this is amazing. In order to use this thing with multiple drones, you can install, because it's an Android-based system, you can put your Autel software on here, you put any DJI software on here, all of your Kitty Hawk, Aloft, all of your navigational software, anything that you need. And it's also got a SIM chip, so you can actually use it as a phone. Multi-purpose, it's of course Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, the whole kit and caboodle. And when you drop it, you don't have to worry about it breaking, because the case itself is actually built around, it's all one piece of gear here. It's got SIM card capabilities to it, so it's an overall excellent piece of gear, especially for drone pilots. And I bought this kit from LifThor, and that's why we're here today. And I got two kits actually, one for the Evo 2, which also goes for the Evo 1 because they have the same remote control, and I also have the Mini 2 and the Air 2, same remote control mount, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the assembly, so let's get started. With this LifThor mount, this is the Bulger, and you go to their website and you just look up the drone itself and it'll give you the mount for that particular remote control. And it's really not that complex. And what you would do is you would take, this is all one piece, this one metal bracket here, and of course it's got the little 1/4-inch screw post on it, and you just slide it into your remote control, and you just lock it into place there and center it, and there's only a couple more steps. So yes, always there's going to be some assembly required when you're dealing with these types of mounts, but trust me, they're well worth it. So once you get to that point and you take your other bracket here, this is where your bracket for your LifThor or whatever your tablet mount is going to be, and you just put it in the top hole here, and that's what's going to hold it. But we'll get to that here in a second. In the meantime, we got to figure out how this is going to hold. So it's only got 4 screws that's going to be required for this assembly, and so you just drop it down here and you put your screws into the side. Trust me, it's going to be very, very solid. And so when you're fastening these, you just align it with the holes on top of it, and then I would recommend that you actually use the front holes here on these sides first. That way you can have a little bit of leverage when you're tightening up the rest. So just make sure that you're lining up your holes here. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. And then you do the same for the other side. Make sure that your mount stays centered on your remote control. And so see, now you still have these two to put in. So you still have these two to put in. And then you just pull up on it a little bit so it doesn't require a lot of pressure, and then put in your other screws in there, and now you have a lot of leverage that's going to hold that remote control in place. So get them both in there. There's really nothing to it. You can tighten it lightly. You don't really need a whole lot of weight on these. And you don't have to torque them down so hard, because they're not going to come loose. but there. And then I bought for $15, I think it was on Amazon. It's actually a DJI tripod, and all by itself, and it's perfect for this remote because you can just turn it like this, and then when you're not using it, when you're out in the field, you just set it down and you can walk away or do whatever you need to do, change your batteries and your remote control. One thing I almost forgot to mention is the actual mount that goes to the TRIPLTEK tablet. And it is very easily removed, and I just purchased one of them, and that one is easily removed so you don't damage the actual TRIPLTEK tablet. And all you have to do is you take your Allen wrench, you turn these 2 screws right here, and the plate pops off of it, and you've done no damage whatsoever. But when you put it back on there, it is very sturdy, it's not coming off, and you can cinch it down, not too tight of course, and it'll hold it nice and firm, so you can just swap this easily from one mount to the other and you're off to the races. But what's really great now is I can take the tablet and go from here and line it up in the hole and fasten it down, grab it. This thing's not going anywhere. It is so sturdy. You got multiple ways of grabbing this thing to keep it, to carry it, transport it. And of course your cable's going to come out of the back here and go straight into here. USB-C in your TRIPLTEK tablet, of course, USB-C coming out of the remote control too. So that's one. That's the Bulger. And then you have the LifThor mount. Very simple process. It's got this one little metal bar here that goes on top, and you go ahead and put that in, and then you have this little screw right here, and you just fasten it into the top of it. And again, you don't need to tighten it down real hard, and then you can go ahead and put it into the bracket of the remote control, and you'll line up the holes, because if you have this remote control, you'll see that you have that little rubber stopper here for your cables. So you just line that up with the actual holes of the bracket itself. Once you have it all lined up, you'll see that the bar that you just put on the remote control itself will have a 1/4 inch thread pipe in the bottom of it that you just screw that into the bottom here. And so you just grab your screw. And remember to use the flat one with the Allen wrench, because it's going to be a flat surface here, because you're also going to want to mount stuff to the bottom of it potentially. And then you use the right Allen wrench, of course, and tighten it down, and this thing's not coming loose. And then you have the spacer for the actual handle grips themselves to keep them from wobbling around, and you just line it up. And as you'll notice, at the bottom of it, the holes line up down here, and you just take your screws and screw it in place, and you're done. And now the rubber flap that you loosened up, now you can access that by plugging your cables into the bottom here, and so it's that simple. And I also did the same thing that I did for the other remote control, and I had one of these tripods for something else. And since this is a little bit heavier, I used a bigger tripod. And I mean, you can find them on Amazon or any place for like $5. It's really a matter of preference. But this one's a little bit wider, and I like the footprint that it has to maintain that stability when you're using a remote. So when you're done flying your DJI products, then you just take it off of here, and then you screw it onto here. You're done. Plug in your cable, and I usually use a cable plugged into the back of this at all times, and it goes straight into the remote control or into the tablet. So and then I use a lanyard, and I like to color coordinate everything, of course. So this lanyard right here is going to be, I got some D-rings, orange D-rings and orange lanyard. I've gotten some different ones recently, but I haven't put them together yet. But this is a really simple way to mount these. And again, I've got the gray one here. And when you're using it, I mean, look, it's nice and well balanced, even with the TRIPLTEK on here, because it's kind of at an angle above it, which is going to be perfect because it leans forward a little bit, and you'll be able to look down and see very easily your screen while you're flying. So that is the down and dirty of the LifThor mounts. I really like them. I love how sturdy they are. I don't have to worry about these things breaking, and you know, I can shake it around, and you know, they're solid. Nice aluminum alloy build to them, very well engineered. They're not wobbly, and they also have a little bit of cool factor to them. When you show up to a client or you show up in a recreational scenario and you look like a very serious drone pilot, you're the talk of the town. People, every time I've gone out to fly and there's other people interested in drones, or they're out flying themselves and we find a park or something, I get a lot of questions on my setup. And it's a solid setup. I mean, it does draw the eye. It does make other clients feel more confident in the fact that you are taking this seriously. So sometimes it's all about presentation. You want to make sure that you put your best foot forward and present yourself in the best manner possible. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and I got a lot more content coming out for you. So keep an eye out for it, and I will talk to you all next week. Take care.